Hello, villagers. Welcome to the Now More podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Edwards, a.k.a. Iconic CEO. Today on the podcast, we have some very, very special guests that are like family to me. We have grown up together. They are iconic legends. Guest one today is my guy, JonAntheny Washington. He is a Dutch Fork High School graduate, class of 2020. He is entering his final semester at Columbia International University. And I call my guy the team captain or the coach, and I kind of got a side eye when I say that. Anybody that knows John knows that John's IQ is on level 1,000. He has been a member, kind of like a founding member of our gym, if you will. He's been with me from the beginning, and I call my guy my son. He coached his team to his senior year to a 2020 championship run where they finished in the second place. But I tell people all the time, even if I die, my boy John is in my will somewhere, so I can't wait for you to hear more about his story. His professionalism, his character, and his acumen is top tier, and he 1,000% transforms his team's culture. Guest number two is my girl, Nyah Leveretter. She is a 2020 graduate of Westwood High School and a graduate of the University of Kentucky. She's playing her final years of eligibility at the University of Georgia. Prior to Kentucky, Nyah was a 4-star prospect, according to Prospects Nation and ESPN. She's 20th best forward overall in her position, top 100 in her class. She is also a South Carolina Coaches Association All-State performer and led her team to 2 South Carolina High School League Final Four appearances. But Nyah is so much more than that. She is a leader. She is a dog. And she is that girl. She really, really is that girl, and I cannot wait to see who she becomes in her future. And I'm excited for you guys to hear more about her story. Our final guest, really, if you know anything about South Carolina basketball, she don't really need much introduction. Unique Drake. If some of you guys were with us, you checked out our Kira Robinson pod. We talked about how Kira Robinson was the first Malaysia Fulwali, but Unique was actually right in between that. So there was Kira, there was Unique, who had the city and our community on lock, and then Malaysia, of course, came and took the world and social media by storm. But South Carolina girls basketball isn't South Carolina girls basketball without you referencing Unique Drake and all that she is and all that she's accomplished. She is a class of 2019 Westwood High School graduate. She's a graduate of St. John's University, currently playing professional basketball in Italy. And I say there is a magnet. This is a gift, man. This is a gift. There's a magnet between her hand and the ball. And her career accomplishments in and of itself will actually speak for themselves and show you exactly what I mean. At St. John's, she was the 2024 unanimous All Big East first team selection. In 2023, she was the Big East Sixth Woman of the Year. 2024 Women's College Senior All-Star Game MVP. She's a 2024 All-Met first team selection. Prior to St. John's, she was rated as a 4-star recruit and 75th overall, but 22nd in her position in the nation, according to ESPNW Hoop Girls. She averaged 17 points per game over her 4 seasons at Westwood. She was a 2019 USA Today first team selection, and she was nominated for the McDonald's All-American Girls Game and the Gatorade Player of the Year runner-up. And it might have been a snub, but I'm gonna let y'all decide. We are discussing their journeys in the game and really, really deep diving into their social and emotional health and their well-being and how the journey overall made them feel. So sit back, grab a drink, grab a pen, grab your notepad, and let's grow together. Let's grow together. Now more. Welcome back to the Now More podcast, a masterclass in greatness. I'm your host, Ashley Edwards, a.k.a. Iconic CEO. I am the owner and the lead basketball trainer at Iconic Sport Performance. I'm on a personal mission to turn the world upside down by developing the leaders of tomorrow. I don't know that I've told you guys formally what Iconic Sport Performance is. Iconic Sport Performance is a basketball-specific training facility out of Columbia, South Carolina. We specialize in basketball-specific training as well as fitness and sport performance training. Our guests today are Iconic Legends. The way you become an Iconic Legend is by graduating from our program, as in like senior walking across the stage, right? Or you are playing collegiately or you're playing professionally. We opened in 2014, and we have a 95% graduation rate. When I say that, what I mean is 95% of our student athletes that have graduated from our program have gone on to accept some form of athletic scholarship. The other 5% by choice have accepted academic scholarships, or they have actually gone and enlisted into the military. The 3 guests today are my family. We've grown up together, and they are a true representation of the ISP culture, of the ISP standard. They are still raising the bar and ultimately are the culture here. Hey guys, I missed y'all. I missed y'all. We haven't done this in a while, and I feel like we, since y'all are officially adults, we're able to indulge a little differently than we typically do. Have you tried your drink though?
I have.
Your peach mango good?
Yeah.
Your lemonade?
Yes,
So do you like your alternative tequila?
Yes, I do.
We're all drinking a little something different today. We've got some Trader Joe's officially. You know, Nyah is like a Trader Joe's girly, right? She's a Trader Joe's. So that orange peach mango with some tequila, and then we got some lemonade with some tequila, but definitely feel free to indulge. We're going to get going officially on our icebreaker. Y'all play this game?
I feel like I have. I just don't really remember.
So what I was thinking, we'll do a little different today since it's more of us than not. But each level gets deeper. What I'm thinking is whatever card I pull, everybody got to answer. Okay? But some of them are like level 1 is like surface level, not quite what's your favorite color, but kind of. And then level 2 is a little more thought-provoking. Level 3 is a little bit, deep. Okay? But just give me, you know what I'm saying? Give me a truce. Give me a truce, okay?
Can we answer these questions? We going that way or this way?
I think we can go this way.
Why you want to start with me?
You wanna
go
last. So we can that's what you want. I said we can go this way. It's a corny question. Oh well, I guess not. I guess it's a good question. First of all, I want y'all to know that these cards are never in order, so forgive me if I'm playing with the cards, okay? But do I remind you of anyone?
No.
I would say no.
No. There's
Uniquely.
nobody.
I would say you're you.
Yeah. Like you're very
Not nobody.
unique.
Uniquely myself. Yeah. When people say I look like somebody or something like that, I be like, they better not be ugly. They better not be ugly, boy. I dare you. That's my first question. All right. What's the first thing you noticed about me? I was like, what's the first thing you noticed about me?
Like when we first met you, or
Sure. I actually think it would be great if we answered the same question about each other because y'all know each other well too.
Lord.
I think that's better.
Hey.
So what's the first thing you noticed about me, and then we can all engage in that way?
I think how serious you were. Like I don't know, you just knew a lot and were able to like express that verbally in a way nobody was able to before.
And I look like I was 12?
No,
Okay.
I just didn't think you were gonna know that much, or I was shocked. But yeah, that's the first thing I would say I noticed.
That's positive.
I would say the first day I met you was, I remember I was at a basketball game at Westwood and you was asking like to come train here. So I would basically say that you was a basketball head because you right after the game you was trying to get up and train. So I would say she actually probably knows something about basketball.
Tomorrow, yeah.
I would say when I first met you, I was kind of scared because I seen the little kid that left before me. He was kind of worn out, and I was just like, hey, it is what it is. I'm ready, but hey, take your time with me. So.
Take your time. All right, what you got? What's the first thing you noticed about Nyah and John?
Nyah was tall.
When she walked in today, I said, damn, you're about 4 inches
That was
taller
a long
every
time. That was like middle school, maybe.
That was long and
That was a
lanky.
long time ago. Nyah was tall. I remember that. But yeah, she was cool. You know, we was laughing and stuff. But yeah, she was tall. That was really it. John.
You got my John, yeah.
I don't even remember the first time I met John. But John used to always beat me in one-on-one a little bit sometimes. We don't gotta put that in there. Don't put that in there.
You don't tell
But
me.
he used to get on my nerves to play one-on-one. But John's cool, so yeah.
You want to run it back right now? You need to.
No, we can run it back now. No, we can run it back. I'm ready now.
I'm so weak. Okay, what you got? What's the first thing you know about them two?
So, when I first seen Nyah, I was like, yeah, there's no way, like, she's, like, here with us right now, working out with us, because I'm just like, she tall, and she should be dunking something. But I've never seen, like, in person, like, I've never seen a girl that tall, like, being able to do what she does. Mm-hmm. So it was just surprising. And then Unique, yeah, that was, I watched, like, some Westwood games, and when she came here, I was just like, yeah, she really liked that. So that was really surprising to me to see, like, you know, female hoopers, you know, do it like that, how they doing it.
I'm weak at female hoopers. I respect that. I respect that. I'd say the first thing I'll go in the same order per se, but I think the first thing I noticed about Nyah, so I saw you for the first time. We went to the game, and then y'all had a tournament in Charleston, and so I came to the tournament in Charleston, and Nyah was the first post player that ever ran the floor the whole time in my whole life. Was like the first person down the floor. And I was like, oh, I got to go find, you know what I mean? So I think the second thing that I noticed was how serious your parents were. So immediately I was like, okay, I got to send them my whole resume. I cannot play with people. So I think that was my first original impression. So I don't know if you remember this, but the first time we actually ever met, you were playing in the Pro-Am here. So Khadijah had her own Pro-Am.
I remember.
And we were at a church. Y'all, Unique was so scared. Like that,
no, I was scared. I was so scared.
So she was actually on my team, and I was like, "Do you want to go in?" She was like, "No."
I was scared.
I think you were like a freshman, so I didn't see you again until some years later.
Yeah.
And at that point, you were the Unique Drake. So, and I think I saw your mom, and I was like, that's gotta be her mama. You know what I mean? Like, so, but I saw, you know, the evolution, and in a way, you were ready. You know what I mean? That you went from being the little girl that was scared to this whole gym. You know what I mean? Shifts to me, and so I was like, okay, we can do something. But I think, I don't know. You remember how young you were when you came?
I was probably 12, 11.
Okay, so I met John's mom, y'all, at our first. We had our grand opening was on the 26th of October. I don't know exactly when I met his mom in that timeline, but I do remember everything was like grassroots wise. So we was like a club, and all we knew, like, you know what I mean, like little people was like to hand out club flyers, right? So we were doing as many little small local events as pop-ups like as possible, and your mom was at the pop-up. And so I think it was like a women's empowerment. I don't remember the exact specific day, but I know your mom was there, maybe even your sister. And then, of course, people just be talking, so you don't really think they're going to bring their kids. And so within a matter of days, she brought John. And I remember, I can't tell you I remember seeing that you were scared, talking about taking it easy on me. But whenever I think about John, them same little med balls we got out there, the big, heavy, like, they were like 6 pound and 10 pound, you know what I mean? And at the time, y'all, John's feet was the biggest thing on his body, right? So when John would do a sit-up, his whole body would go back and his whole body would go forward. So I say that to say that med ball was bigger than him. So I had him trying to do some like side tosses on the first. So what sticks out to me about John was that med ball was taking my boy, like the whole time. It was taking my boy. So it was interesting, you know what I mean? We grew from there. All right, level 2, connection. It's a good one. What is a compliment you wish you received more frequently?
Hey, these make you think.
That's a deep one there.
A compliment? I think I have a good one.
It's on you, right?
I think mine is like you're doing enough, but that's just because I have so many like goals, things I want to get done, and sometimes it just seems like it's a lot, and then I feel like I'm behind a little bit. So when people are like, "Oh, you're perfectly where you need to be," or "You're doing just enough," like
it settles you?
Yes, because I'm very. My mind is on 1,000.
I'm like, what do you mean when you say behind? What's the scope? What's the scale?
I don't know. I just feel like, granted, I'm doing a lot right now already, but I feel like with the free time that I do have, sometimes when I choose to rest, I should be doing something else. So, but then I have to realize you're doing a lot more than the average person already.
A lot more.
You need the rest.
A lot more. What you got? What do you wish you received more?
I would say knowing how to like face adversity, getting through hard times, because going to college freshman year was a hard time for me, but I could have transferred, I could have left, but I stayed at the same school for 5 years. Finally reaped the benefits my senior year, so I would say just like facing adversity, because nobody really knows your story, so I know my story, so I would say facing adversity.
Do you think that in order for you to receive that compliment, you got to tell people your story? And are you willing to tell people?
I feel like maybe, but like honestly, yeah, they would have to really know your story for me to say that. But personally, I feel like I shouldn't have to tell people that. But
like, because we all go through stuff.
Yeah,
no way.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
My mom tells me all the time that I always look like the strong friend. Does that make sense? So it's like when you always appear like the strong friend, you don't ever make anything look hard. So if you don't ever make anything look hard, if you always look like you got it together, people don't, like, I saw something, literally, I think it was a quote on Instagram. It was something along the lines of like, dude was like, "Oh, you're gonna be all right though. I ain't worried about you." And the guy was like, "No, worry about me." Like, he's like, "No, please." And it's like, but you don't always carry yourself like you need somebody to worry about you. And then we're all really self-centered too. You know what I mean? So I think what I'm learning is in the vulnerability of sorts of like, people get to really know you and what you need, and then you also allow them to kind of fill the gaps with, and you know what I mean, and meet you there in a way. You got my boy?
I wish I received like somebody saying like good job more. Like, I mean, I know I accomplished like a lot of stuff. But I just want to hear that more. It just makes me feel better as a person.
Who do y'all think are so like, look, because when I'm like, John parents, the logo on the front of their car, like you got like Lakers on the car, it's like John on the front of the car. Like, so when y'all say that, do you wish you heard it more from your parents? Like, who are the loudest voices to you when you're saying like, I want to hear good job? Like, who do you want to hear good job from? Who do you want to hear? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are those voices that matter in your answer?
I don't think it's anybody like outside for me. I think it's just a personal thing. Like, I need to tell myself, like, girl, you're doing enough. You're good. Like, you're on the straight path.
Okay.
I can't say my mom. My mom tells me all the time. So I wouldn't really say. I mean, I want people to tell me that. Maybe I want them to like not tell me it literally, but like understand that I faced adversity and I've got through adversity. Not literally telling me, hey, that. I don't even know how they would say that to me.
Like I see you in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably want to hear it more from like guys I grew up with, because they know my story. I know theirs, and it's just like, come on, we can lift each other up like we've been doing.
I feel that. Okay. I think. So every time Nyah come, I really be feeling like we the same person. I don't know why we so. But I think in the same way, I definitely feel like I'm not doing enough. I told you I'd be wanting to quit the podcast after every episode because I'm like, I don't know if it's the perfectionist or like what it is specifically. But in the same way, like when you don't know what I do, not to say your compliments don't matter, but your critiques or your compliments don't, if you don't really understand, you know what I mean? And so I think at this point, and even on like my spiritual journey in a way, it's like more often than not, I'm looking for like affirmation from God. Like, you're going in the right direction, everything. And so it's even on the wall, we put like all the words that God says about you in the Bible. And it's like, you can know that that's there, but if you don't believe him and if you don't feel like it, you know what I mean? Like if I am capable, that might be what he said, But if you don't feel like you're capable, or if you don't believe in him or the path, it doesn't really all work together the way that it needs to. And so I think that more often than not, when I'm in the shower, laying my head down, thinking, you know what I mean? It's this like, man, like, I need this confirmation. And so, fortunately, there's been a lot of different things that have gone on and transpired since I've developed a better relationship with God that reaffirms that I'm seen and I'm heard. But I also have began to talk to God like I talk to y'all. So right after that, I'm like, boy, you see me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, he also, I'm giving him the same affirmation back. You know what I mean? Like, so what he's giving me and what I need, I'm also acknowledging and affirming, like, I do believe and I see you and I feel you and I know you're present. So it's been a little different. But that'd be my one. All right. The deepest.
Why you took a deep breath like that?
John is nervous. In one word, so I want y'all to know that this is life, okay? We not just talking hooping, we talking about life, okay? But for the whole podcast, right? But in one word, describe how you feel right now.
Curious.
Okay.
Yeah.
In life in general?
In life in general.
Okay. Elaborate.
See, like, I guess what my next steps are going to be after college and then at my new school. Mm-hmm. And then in this setting, curious just because we have never sat down, all four of us, and just talked about things in depth. So I'm curious to get to know how everybody's doing, the process, how that's been for everybody.
I need a scope.
Wait, like come back to you? You want to come back to you? Okay.
Come back to me.
So I say right now, everything that's going on, I still feel like I'm just blessed to be here. You know, it's just a journey, and it just, you know, it makes me feel good just to be able to, you know, travel and have you guys here, and then knowing that I have family other places, stuff like that. Yeah.
So bar. I've been moving a lot, like really, really fast. I think, and I have a lot of moving pieces, a lot of goals, and it ranges somewhere between. So the first word that came to mind, I'm not even gonna hold you, was like numb, and not for the sake of like, you know, the dark, gory side numb, like where it's like, you know, I don't want to feel anything, but when you're in a perform mode, like when you got to be in a zone. I think that would be more so. You know what I mean? I seen Noah Lyles jumping around today. His zone is different than my zone. I'm telling my mama, like he was doing the Olympic 100 meter and was like, I was like, you're not gonna win the amount of energy you're expending. So I think when I'm in get things done mode, I kind of turn it off, put blinders on, in that way. But I think when I take the blinders off, the word I would use would probably be grateful. That would be I think that's you could take a moment to like realize what all is going on and what's happening. I think that would be my different modes, I would say. Yeah, go, my dog. What you got?
I mean, I would say I'm kind of like unbothered right now in life. Like I have no, like, as of right now, I'm not really like stressing about anything. I'm like living the day by the day. Like I'm
Maria unbothered?
Like, yeah, I'm not like really stressing about nothing. Like I'm living every day by the day. Like nothing's really like bothering me for us. Yeah. So like I'm just like happy we can say happy.
No, that's bar. I went through a phase where I felt like I was paced with grace for a minute. Like it just, nothing could knock me. So I definitely, that is a solid space to be for a fact. All right, so we're gonna jump deep into your training at ISP and your experiences here. Talk to us, Nyah. When did you begin training at ISP?
It was sometime early in high school, right? Like 10th grade, maybe.
Yeah,
10th grade. I just remember my dad one day after practice, he was like, this trainer came up and asked about you. We're gonna go give her a try. I think she heard about it from Unique's mom. And then I came up here one day, had a trial, and me and my dad were both shocked. Just the feedback. Like, it's one thing to go through a basketball training and just be told what to do and how many times to do it.
It's your face.
Yeah, because like, I don't like that. Because y'all know how my brain works. Like I need to explain how, why I'm doing something, and you broke it down so well. At that point, me and my dad were like, yeah, like we have to come here. Like there's no option. There's no other option. It was definitely hard at first, though. I remember, because I was so weak, y'all. Y'all definitely remember that. Like, I was skin and bones. Like, so I would get knocked down. I couldn't finish, but I don't know. It's just coming back every day and getting better that kind of made me who I am today. So I enjoyed it. I look at those videos all the time, too. Like, before we start workouts, we're, like, tying our shoes or just joking around. I'm like, man, I miss high school. I miss those days because – you know, you can't get those days back. But.
Facts, good times. All right, so what you got? When did you start?
I can't remember the year I started, but it was in high school. I remember that was in high school. I think it was probably like sophomore year in my high school. But I remember my first day coming. It was hard. It was real hard. I was like, wait. I was like, hold up. I might not be ready for this. But it was real hard. But y'all pushed me through it, so. And I kept coming back after that. So I would say, y'all, like, being here actually made me, like, I was good, but, like, when I came here, I got real good. Like, y'all, my left hand, I ain't have no left hand. You know we would have days where we would just do straight left hand work. Like, I'm clanking it off the backboard. Like, it was bad, but you really got me to where I am today. So I would say ISP has got me exactly where I am today.
Nah, I appreciate that. What you going, boy?
When I first came here, I was in 6th grade when it was, the concrete floors. Concrete floors was kind of rough because what the work I was doing, I had the med ball, like she said, and I was throwing the med ball against the wall, and the med ball caught me slipping, and I ended up falling on the floor, and I'm thinking it's like a little cushion, no cushion, so Ash like, come on, get up. Crystal in the back, get up, come on, let's go, you got it. I'm like, man, I'm about to leave, man. But,
a lot of days had me like that.
It fast forwarding, like it just made me stronger, like mentally. It was really helpful. It made me grow, be more mature on the court too, than everybody else. But I really, my IQ really improved coming here too.
Like ISP, like usually when you go train, it's straight basketball. Mm-hmm. Here, you might run up and down the street. You might run up a hill. You might be backpedaling down here. Like, it's more than just basketball. Like, I remember we used to watch film sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like, it's way more than just basketball when you come here. So that's why I really like my ISP.
I appreciate that, John. Yeah, but I want to be clear. In John's answers, John is the baby boy. So when he says he was ready to go, he was really ready to go. He was really ready to go. Okay, so do you guys remember your training schedule?
I feel like I was here every day. Yeah. I feel like I was here every day.
Yeah, it was Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, and 5:30? No, 6:30 to 8:30, or maybe 8. Depends.
By the time, right? Yeah. Depends. Depends. You was every day. I
was here like all the time.
1 hour, 2 hour. We did a couple mornings.
Yeah, we did a couple more. I remember the Breakfast Club.
I do remember that. We did. Bit.
We was outside running on them hills, 6 a.m. Man.
I do remember the Breakfast Club on the concrete floor.
The Breakfast Club.
We was hooping in though. We had some hoopers back then.
I was gonna say, we used to be here all the time.
Some hoopers. What was your training schedule like?
Mine was a little different because I had volleyball too. So sometimes I'd come early in the afternoon, like right after school ended, go to practice, and then when basketball season, we'd have practice, and then I'd come right after. But
that's a perfect segue. I was gonna ask you guys next. What were all of your other responsibilities besides just training? Because you were engulfed in training, but what else did you have going on in your life? Like you said, volleyball. Was it school volleyball, travel? Like what else you had going on?
School volleyball, club volleyball, club or AAU basketball, high school basketball. A lot. Modeling. I remember I was modeling and acting for a little bit too.
And then you did some, like, what else outside of life too? Like you were church, babysitting?
Yeah,
what type of classes were you taking?
AP classes.
So you had a life.
I
had a lot going on.
Couldn't be me.
Schedule. Okay. Yeah. No, what I always love about, and I tell people all the time, I'm like, so there's certain schools that I can't coordinate with coaches. And so when their parent comes like, oh, they go to this school, I'm like, oh yeah, you can't come here. But what I always appreciated with parents to coaches for a while, like in your journey, was that we all scheduled well. You know what I mean? I think that we all respected your schedule, your priorities in a way. I thought that was pretty dope. But again, I don't know that people actually know how much y'all do. And even when we referencing like a breakfast club, I'm thinking most people are not even willing to get up. You know what I mean? What else did you have going on besides hooping, or was you just?
I would say my life was just oriented around hooping. So it's probably like high school practice is coming here, but like I ain't have nothing real crazy in my schedule. You know?
Okay. But everything was, But I mean, you as a pro, that makes total sense.
Everything's just basketball.
Yeah.
I say, it was really just basketball. I mean, you had homework, but I tried to get that out of the way before I came here, and sometimes it was just like, I ain't finna do this tonight. So I really just
that boy hated school.
I really did.
Tell the people why you hate school though, because I feel like you have solid reasons.
I'm being transparent.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really don't. I can't just sit here and just listen to somebody talk about something I'm not really gonna use like later in my life. Like, I feel like I'm not gonna. Like, I just want money, I ain't gonna really.
I feel you on that.
I ain't really gonna use all the calculus and all that extra stuff, and that's not my thing. I don't do that.
So if you could create any class for high school students based on that, what would it be?
Like, just how to deal with life after high school without your, parents helping you, having to teach you how to do this, and them not knowing the ins and outs, really.
Yeah.
So just really life after high school.
That's
that would
fair.
be like a class or something.
Do you feel like your parents, teachers, coaches were receptive to that truth as you were in school?
No. Not really, no.
All right, so back in the day, my mom used to give me a high-low. We sit at the kitchen table, and I felt like she was trying to make us talk. But here I go being my mama. So what you'd have to do is you give me a high from your experience and a low from your experience. So when you think about training at ISP, give me a high-low.
I would say a high was when we were playing. I think it was your senior year and my junior year, and it was during playoffs, and we kind of had a plan of how we were going to
Kill everybody.
we had a plan about how we were going to take care of business. But I think that was a high just because it was like we put in all this work during the summer, it's fall, and now we're all here like collaboratively trying to get this goal done. I don't know if I have a low. Like, I really...
my low is that's not getting it done. That's
yeah. The low is not getting it done.
We had that private practice.
We
had a whole private practice. They didn't even win.
Okay, yeah. Then the low was... But no, I don't think it's not a low either, though, because it's just part of the process. Like...
Yeah. All them timeouts left on the table don't feel a part of the process.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That was my low. I feel like I'm still mad at that man. I ain't gonna hold you. Go ahead, give me.
I was.
Bro, we talking about
I was about to say, let's not bring her back out there.
Right.
I would say a high is probably just being here in awe. Like, from the beginning to the last day I was here. I think the whole experience was a high. Like, developing my game, you teaching me life. You actually teach like life skills. You don't just talk about straight basketball all the time. So just the whole experience and it all is high. I don't really have a low.
You can tell the people your low. Go and tell the
I
people.
don't really got a low. Like, I wouldn't say I have a low. The low is probably like being tired, but like everybody get tired. Like, I don't really have a low when it comes to like here. So
Okay.
I say like she was saying, starting and finishing here, that was really like my high, and then like transferring my IQ to college from being here for so long, and it shows like most people, they go to their trainers and they just do straight basketball. They don't really like pay attention to the game and like what really goes on during the game. And they have the skills, but it's not really there. But my low, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just don't know.
In training, specifically, son? Or in basketball? What do you think about when you say you can't explain it?
I say in training. Well, yeah, I say in training because once you hit that dead spot and it's like, dang, am I really gonna be able to finish off, like finish the drill or finish just like working out today, just staying mentally like strong.
Okay.
So something like that.
Okay. So are you talking about through a specific workout, or are you saying through a specific period of like season of your life type thing?
Like a season, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your hardest season, you think?
I feel like it would be my senior year because, or high school, high school. But my senior year in high school because my guys, they knew like what I could do for them and help them out, and it was just like I was getting thrown the short end of the stick or whatever.
From who?
Coach.
Don't tell the people now. Don't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand why you.
So yeah.
You're a grown man now. Go ahead.
You're right. So yeah, just basically being treated like the worst thing on the team, but by my coach and by the head coach. Other than the assistant coach, he understood like
What you had?
Yeah, he knew what I had.
The reason I want y'all to tell is because there's gonna be other people that go to your school. You know what I mean? There's gonna be other people, and not just in your school, but it's not about dogging folks, because like in a way I get to talk about in my own setting. I get to talk about, you know what I mean? But again, it's different when, no matter how you put it, if I talk about y'all's coaches from my angle, that's just my perception and my perspective. But I think that we can make more change happen when people talk about it from yours. You know what I mean? So what I'm thinking about, I mean, obviously, like, in real time, like, we had our stuff, you know what I mean? Like, so when you talk about that, like I said, not only does it make me better, but it lets people know I'm not perfect, too. And then on the other side, there's because, again, I really think a lot of the coaches here think, like, I walk around like my shit don't stink. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, as opposed to y'all being like, oh, nah, Ash was that girl. Like, no, I hated that nigga this day. You know what I mean? Like, and when you can do that, again, not only does it hold me accountable, but that's what I'm telling people consistently, like, hold me accountable too. You know what I mean? Like, integrity is a real thing. I don't want to just preach it. So on one side, that's where I want y'all's real. You know what I mean? Because I think about that with you, but I think about, for real, y'all with when we were doing those group sessions, similar to what he was talking about, treated y'all differently than he treated everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, and so I think that, not to say that that is your low, but I think that that contributes to your success or not. You get what I'm saying? Because is coming here punching the pad. You know what I mean? Like, and beating the head up against the wall. So I think those are truths that are necessary. And we don't have to name drop per se, but again, to be able to share that and talk about those experiences. But in terms of your dynamic, I think about specifically at Dutch Fork, they actually the primary pursuit was the football players. Yeah. And you had a coach that didn't really know nothing about basketball, and you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and so with John being so undersized, and then of course the football team being 5A football, you know what I mean? Like, and champions, not just like lightly, there was a priority and there was a precedence. And so I think that, again, in telling that real story, it makes for a more lesson for everybody. So really, I'm gonna make y'all answer y'all lows again.
Oh Lord!
But go ahead. You can start. You can start on yours. Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like my low was my senior year in high school. I can really tell you, like, one game, it was like my senior night, and I got in and they just like pushed me down to the ground. I had the ball in my hand, like they pushed me down to the ground. Ref didn't call a foul, and coach just, knowing who he is, he took me out the game, and that was probably, first quarter. Took me out the game, and I literally sat on that bench and was just like a ball of fire. And then when we got back to the locker room after we lost, I was laughing at them. But I mean, I felt bad because, like, those was my brothers. But at the end of the day, y'all shouldn't let him do that to me if y'all are my brothers. So yeah, that was my low.
What do you feel like could have been done? You feel like in a leadership where they could speak up for you? Do you think there was a place to speak up? For
sure. There was definitely a place to speak up. They seen what was happening, but it is what it is.
I'm like, you got a voice that's different than most people. Like, when I think about you, I think you talk. So I'm like, are you being fair?
And that's why people don't like me.
Right, that's a fact.
Sorry.
But when you think about the fact that you speak so well and you don't mind holding your tongue, when you think about your brothers, like you're referencing, do they have the voice you have? So yes, they could have spoke up, but are
Yeah.
they as confident in speaking as you?
Some of them, but
Okay.
not most. Not
Okay.
all.
Okay. What you got?
I'd say my low. I think just in high school and even somewhat in college a little bit too, like early on not finding my voice. So, games we lose or situations we're in and people aren't locked in or kind of on the same page. Part of me is just like, oh, I'm doing the right thing, so let me just be quiet, continue doing the right thing, it'll play out. But
Lead by example.
Yeah, I'm very good at that.
Very good.
Very good. Perfection.
Oh my God.
When it comes to leading vocally, yeah, that'd be my love.
I'd be like, there are different levels of leadership.
Yeah, and I just, it didn't click for me until like it had to.
Yeah.
So I wish I would have. That's my low. I wish I would have realized that earlier.
Yeah, I used to tell Nyah, we sit down, and I would try to say it as nicely as I could, but I'd be like, Nyah, they are not allowed to get in your car if they don't do what they're supposed to do. They don't get no Chick-fil-A. Like, no. I'm like, they are disrespecting you when they are not working like you're working. But we're here now. We're involved.
A better place.
We're involved. All right, we're go ahead.
My low. I would say my low probably is, I heard this a lot growing up, is I just didn't have like that dog. Mm-hmm. I had that like dog in me. Like I wasn't like assertive with who I was and how I play. So I would say that's my low. Even going into college, like I wasn't assertive with who I was. I knew I had it in me, but I just didn't like bring it out. But now that I got older, I'm older, like the dog is out. So I would say.
What do you think it took for your dog to come out?
I had to just focus on myself, not worry about what other people say, not worry about how other people think. I know who I am at the end of the day, so
Yeah.
that's really what made me just. I know what I can do.
Yeah.
I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
And I just had to like accept that.
Okay. So tell me, from a challenges perspective, what was your most difficult part of training?
I don't know. Start with somebody else.
I got it.
Okay. She's like, I can answer this. Go ahead.
All right, so-
My most difficult part was the 30 minutes before you went down to the basketball court. The lifting and the running. Like, you need that, yes, but like at that age, I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I just got to make through this and then I'll go shoot. But like, that part was like really challenging for me, but it prepared me for like college because like you got to lift, you got to run. So
Yeah.
it worked out in the end.
Yeah. Okay. What you got?
I love Crystal to death. But Crystal used to try to kill me, say that on camera. I love her. But it was just like the weights. One day, I can tell y'all, it was like we was on weights heavy. And I was only in like, 8th, 9th grade. We was on weights so heavy that day. I got down there and Ash tried to make me shoot. It was like 5 at each spot or something. And like the last spot, I had to hit 5 in a row. And I could not hit 5 in a row. And I just cried. I literally cried. I don't remember how old I was, but I was crying like a baby, bro. I was so mad, but yeah, I was on a challenge.
A ball of fire.
Yeah, a ball of fire, literally. That's maybe who I am. That drill.
What you got?
Okay, hardest thing for me with training, I would say all the details. Like, y'all know, I would go 1,000 miles per hour doing the wrong thing. I'm going to give you my
Because she work hard.
but
She work hard.
it might not be correct. So, I don't know. Seeing everybody else get the details and it looks so seamless and smooth. Meanwhile, I'm giving all my effort and it's still not working out like y'all. That used to be so frustrating. But eventually, you get it down, Pat. It just took me a little longer.
I'm so weak. All right, so give me success stories. At what point did you know that training was paying off?
I think me getting physically stronger. So, like, sophomore year, junior year, there were some baskets, like, I couldn't finish. And just because I'm coming here and I'm weightlifting heavy and on a strict, I guess, schedule,
Yeah.
that contributed a lot to, like, senior year us being successful, or your senior year, my junior year being successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I knew, well, I don't want to say when I knew, but I need affirmation just like y'all need affirmation, and we just be out here doing our best, right? And I be praying and all these things. So in truth, I don't always know what works. I know what I believe, and I'm being obedient in that, but we don't know. You believe you reap what you sow, but you don't know it until it's sown. And so I knew that, like, this was working when I went to go see her play. I think they was playing the Flames, and Ashland was the man, Malaysia was the man, and the way people talked about them was like Nyah was like third, fourth option. I get there, and Nyah is the option. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is working. There were so many moments that I was like, okay, this is different. But on major circuits, it was different. What you got?
I could tell probably like during high school games. Like I started with you probably like sophomore year, so I would say just throughout the whole junior, senior year, and then when I finally got picked up by the EYBL team, I was like, all right, I might actually be heading in the right direction. But my skills got up. You know, nobody could really guard me for real. Nobody. But yeah, that's how I knew. Like, yeah, it's actually working.
So you didn't know before you like got picked up by the EYBL team?
I knew before then, but when I did, I was like, all right.
Okay, because it was like a South Carolina,
Yeah,
Columbia.
you know
Okay,
what I'm saying?
that makes sense.
So my training was paying off. Like, I realized it. I couldn't really show it in high school, but once I got to college, like my sophomore year, and I got that starting spot, and I was just like, this is time to go. Like, you know what to do. You already, like, dreamed about this, so let's go. Like, so when I was going against guys like 6'7", 6'5", and I was scoring, like, layups and stuff, I was like, dang, you never used to be able to do that, but, hey, keep going. Keep going, yeah. But, like, you worked on this, so I really, like, that's when it really paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is one of the biggest lessons you learned through training?
It's not gonna happen overnight. It's kind of just one of those things where you get better. Even if it's 1% better each day, you're getting better. And I'm one of those type of people that I need to see the growth and the change instantly, but it's not gonna come instantly. So just, I don't know, you keep at it, and it'll eventually add up to where you want it to be, as long as you stay consistent with it.
Yeah.
I would touch base, like consistency. Like you can't work out one day and think like you good for like a year. Like, you gotta. Like, some people do that. Like, some people do that. They work out and think that they're done. Like
I would literally say use it or lose it.
you gotta come. Like if you don't show up, you're not gonna be able to show out.
Yeah,
so
that's a fact.
That's just how I live. Consistency.
Okay.
I say just don't take it for granted. Like, you know, like the time being here. Don't take it for granted at all, because you're going to miss it. Or, you know, you just want to work out, you know, with the class one more time.
That's a bar. All right, so we're going to transition. Real talk. What are your feelings towards basketball today? Are you in love with it? Is it a job? Love, hate? You broke up? Where are you at with basketball today?
I miss it. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I had my phase where, like, I didn't want a thing to do with basketball. Basketball was not what was on the forefront of my mind, but I'm at a point where now, like,
People don't even know why you miss it.
Oh, I tore my ACL. I've been injured for like 16 months now.
Yeah.
I've had 3 surgeries, but I don't know. I'm at a point where I just miss it. Like, I'd do anything to just, hey, you're cleared, go out there and hoop.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
I would say I love basketball. I've been loving basketball for a long time. Right now, basketball is now a job for me. Like, it is what's going to pay my bills and all that. But at the same time, I still love it.
Still in love with it.
I don't know what I would do without it.
Yeah. What you got?
I got to love-hate. You know, I like to see, you know, or play in a pickup game. It just brings all of it back. But once I leave the gym, it's just like, dang, you really could have been on the court right now. On the actual team right now, just, you know, still playing. So,
Do you hate that? Do you feel like your experiences stopped you from playing?
yeah, absolutely. Like the coaching and stuff, I can't really look in a coach's face like for too long right now, because it's that right now. Yeah, for me.
Okay. So each of you experienced some form of like journey through limited minutes. Talk about how that made you feel.
I would say, like, freshman year of college, like, I would never go back there. Like, sitting on the bench is really, like, traumatizing. Like, you out there, like, it sounds crazy, but, like, watching people play while you want to be out there, like, that junk, it really hurts. So, like, freshman year, it's, like, depressing. Like, I wasn't depressed. I wasn't depressed.
You could be depressed. You could be depressed.
But it's like really depressing, like watching people play and you think you can do it. But at the same time, I still had to like learn Because, like, college was way different from high school. Like, it's actually, like, technique to it, all that other stuff. But, like, I would say I actually learned, though, from sitting on that bench.
Yeah.
I learned stuff, but I wouldn't, nah.
So do you think your experiences, though, are different because you had so much playing time? Like, do you feel like it's as depressing for the kid who maybe is not unique? Does that make sense? So for that kid, when you were in high school or middle school, is it still just as traumatizing, for instance, in terms of, like, pass-fail way?
I would say if you come from, like, playing a lot and then you go sit, it's like, I think it hurts more.
Okay.
It's like you're not used to. I wasn't used to just sitting on the bench.
Okay.
I wasn't used to, like, even taking a break on the bench. So, like, to sit on it for a whole 40 minutes was, like, absurd.
Have y'all ever heard that, though, from, like, any of your teammates who never really got a lot of burn? Like, that
Yes.
in not ever getting burned from the beginning to the end, do they feel like it still sucks? Like, it's like you've always played. Like,
Yeah, I had a homeboy, he literally, like, he used to tell me, like, if I had sat, like, a bunch of minutes or something, he was like, I know how you feel. And I'm just like, dang. Like, I ain't like that, bro. Yeah.
So
Just like that.
Okay, so how did limited minutes make you feel?
It made me, it was like egging on my hate towards basketball. It's just, because I can run, like, all day. Like, it don't matter. You can put me in a 40-minute game and I'll play another 40-minute. But it's just like, it's challenging mentally. And I know I'm mentally strong, but, like, it just gets really challenging for me.
Okay. How about you?
I say for me, freshman and sophomore year, yeah, it was really hard just because you're putting in the same work, sometimes even more than the people who are playing, but you just have to have a level of maturity in your thinking of knowing you're not ready. And you don't really see that until you're a senior or a junior. You're playing a lot, and you're like, wait a minute, back then I wouldn't imagine it was going to be like this. So you kind of understand. But I've also definitely had teammates where, you know, they didn't play a lot the whole time, and there's, like, resentment grown a little bit, but I always just made sure, even if I'm not, and I remember you told me this too before I left, you were like, even if you don't play, you better warm up the best you ever wore.
That's a fact.
Yes.
Let everybody know.
Yes, but I don't know, I just always found a way, even if I'm not playing, do something to contribute to the team, and then you'll get there eventually, as long as you work hard.
My biggest thing with y'all was always, I never wanted you to forget who you were because someone wasn't playing you. I didn't want your goals to change, your dreams to change, because I do think it's an emotional journey, you know what I mean? But we're going to go into your specific questions real quick. Talk about your feelings in terms of your journey through injury, how your surgery's making you feel, and these big deal transitions.
Yeah, y'all know I'm the type of person, there haven't been a lot of hardships in my life, so this was the first thing that was difficult for me mentally. After that first surgery, like, I didn't even recognize myself. For at least 6 months, I was just sad, mad, upset. Like, I just was not myself. And then, you know, having news that I'll have to have another surgery, that was hard. But, I don't know, once you get through that first surgery or that first hardship, you just deal with it better. Now I can say, like, today I'm in a place where I'm actually happy. I'm more driven than ever. And I know I'll be cleared soon because of the work that I put in. But it was definitely mentally taxing. Yeah, but
I think the positive is, like you said, you were such a perfectionist before, but it's like you get to figure out who you really are.
Yeah.
Through the hard. All right, so my question for you is, was there ever a time that you questioned who you were?
I would say there's definitely been a time where I questioned myself. Definitely during college, like, when you're not getting, you know, sometimes in college, like, when you first start, you know, practice, like, you might not even get a rep in practice. That's how it gets. Like, you might not get a rep in practice.
You saying because you had practice players and stuff.
Like, practice players, but, like, for the team, like, you might not even get on the court.
Exactly.
Like, so it's like, I was questioning, like, am I even good enough to, I can't even practice for it. Like, well, I'm not getting nervous in practice, but I definitely got questioned, but, like, I had to fight through that because I know who I am, but I did get questioned a little bit, but I didn't let that, like, push me down or anything. I just had to keep going. So.
Super. So I want to know, John came to me one day, and we obviously talked about, like, you can quit. Like, there's no, and I think we don't actually know that we can. I think that growing up the way you grew up and obviously seeing people play and all those things, that sometimes quitting makes you feel like a failure. But he, of course, began to express that I don't love this the way I used to, and these people are making me hate and all those things. And so talk me through that moment when you really realized this isn't the same for me anymore.
I say that night when my dad just called me downstairs and my mom was sitting in the living room, and it was like, so what's next? And I was like, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, I just don't, I'm not feeling it no more. And it's another chapter somewhere, but hey, this right here is just not it. And I have to, me growing up and, just like thinking about everything and how I want to, expand my life. Like, I don't want just basketball to be one thing. I want to like have more things. I was just telling them, it's like, I need y'all to be with me. Like, just like egg me on to do better, like stuff like that. But this basketball thing, I don't know.
Support the transitions, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys wish that your parents, or you, like, what do you wish you knew then coming up? And what do you wish your parents knew then, if anything?
If I could go back to high school and see into the future to today, I wish my parents and I both would have known more about building my brand, because, like, that's so important today in the world of sports. Especially with what I want to do, I feel like that would have set me a few steps forward than where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that it was necessary without NIL a few years ago?
I don't think it was, but I feel like we could have thought outside the box to think like, oh, okay, this could be in the future or the near future. Even if it's not basketball related, just for what you want to do in your career, we should start this now. So,
yeah. Okay. What you got?
If I go back, I'll probably like be more on the media. Like, everything nowadays is on the internet. Like, highlights, all this stuff is on the internet. Like, back then, I could have posted like highlights back then just to like draw, because everything's political.
Yeah.
They want all the people that look good on the internet. So I would probably had a better internet presence.
Did you know it was political back then?
No. You don't figure that out until like college, pro. Like, everything is very political.
The business version? Yeah. Okay. What you got?
I wish I knew more of the business side of everything, like college basketball and like the pros and stuff, because it would have probably made me, work more, like, harder. And yeah, pretty much it.
Why do you think you didn't know? I want to know if you know why you didn't know.
Because I was like, just like a kid, basically.
Yeah.
Still in the mind, but like when I got senior year, I started to like mature a little bit more. It's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it really.
I asked because your AAU team matters.
Yeah.
So, and I think even when you talk about, so like y'all played on different levels of AAU teams. Yeah. You know what I mean? So from the team you played on, like yours was a little higher than his, but hers was higher than yours. And I think when we're not educated as to exactly where I'm supposed to be, but your parents and I actually had those conversations, and they felt like you wanted to be with your friends more than you wanted to be in the right place. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, of course, we made the right moves for you when it was necessary. But I think that that's something that we're looking to grow and build, that where you are matters, because people aren't going to find you. And social media was big at that time. We just weren't using it.
There's a lot of kids that, I don't know, they're playing basketball, not because they love basketball, because they see like how people are making money from it, how people are accomplishing other things aside from basketball. So I guess, I don't know, has the passion, the drive changed to want to do something like this because people's mindsets are changing?
I definitely think so. But I don't think that it was kind of that way before. I think we weren't making money before, but I think that you wanted your kid to be as popular, like in a weird way. Like, just being able to post your kid with a trophy on Facebook gives you such an ego boost that still feels like a monetary gain. You know what I mean? Like, and so, because even when you think about it, you win the lottery, that money gone really quick. You know what I mean? Like, so there's just so many different things that we all need as our own, you know what I mean? Like, validation in a sense. So I don't think it's just the kids, but I think it's also parents. I think I've seen egos in coaches too. So now that you put money in the mix, I almost call it like modern day slavery. Like, it's like really, we're putting you out there for different reasons. I appreciate y'all for coming. Hey, I'm telling you, I told my mom, I said, I officially understand what it's like to have grown kids because they don't never come on time. They text me back slow. And so she was like, as I was saying it out loud to her, I could hear her. She ain't even got to say in the back. I just heard it. I heard her face. But it takes her forever to get me and my brother and sister to come or to respond. But I always know because in the group she's like, thank you for responding. You know what I mean? Like, so it has been a task to get you guys all together since y'all grown now and got real lives. But I'm sincerely grateful for your time for sure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you again, villagers, for joining us. Every episode, I want to leave you guys with a quote. Our imperfections are what connect us to each other and to our humanity. Our vulnerabilities are not weaknesses. They are powerful reminders to keep our hearts and minds open to the reality that we're all in this together, by my girl, Brene Brown. If any part of this episode touched you, you connected to it, you understand it, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, of course, to the Now More Pod on YouTube, and follow me online at iconic_CEO. Again, this is the Nyah Leveretter. How can I keep up with you online?
Nyah, 2 H's, NYAHH.LEVV.
All right, and then my boy John, what you got?
John W on Instagram. You know, follow me. No, .2x, my bad.
All right, first take, Drake. How can the people get in touch with you?
Sleek.neek on Instagram, SLEEK.neek.
And lastly, if you want to become a member of this village, please subscribe online so you can stay up to date with all things Now More Pod. I will see you guys next time.